Hello, everyone. Welcome to the student government election presidential debate for the election year 2022-2023 candidates for student government for next year. My name is Michael Hutmaker. I'm Dean for Student Affairs, and I will be asking the candidates questions about different roles that they'll be playing as a student government president and what they hope to achieve in their role and how to better serve you, the students of BMCC. We have three candidates running for president. I'll have them introduce themselves before we get started with the questions. So I will ask candidate number one, can you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Hutmaker. It's such a pleasure being here with everyone today. My name is Lavinia Antonio. I am running for president for the Student Government Association of 2022 to 2023. This is my second semester at BMCC, and I have enjoyed it immensely, mostly because of all of the support that I get from the faculty, administration, and fellow students. So I'd like to thank everyone for that. And really what my main goal as president, if elected, is
Lavinia, let me cut you off. You have an opportunity for that in your introduction.
Oh, great. Okay.
Right. So we'll just say your name, your major, and a little bit of information. So we'll go to candidate number two.
Great.
Thank you, Lavinia. Candidate number two.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carlene Nelson, and I say I am glorious. I am many glorious things. I am right now an entrepreneur and a student, and my major is small business entrepreneurship. And coming back to school and being at BMCC has really been a tremendous transformation in my life, and I cannot stop speaking highly about my experience at BMCC. And I look forward to being the student government president if you elect me.
Thank you, Carlene. And candidate number three.
Thank you, Mr. Hutmaker. Hello, my BMCC family. I am Davia Smith-Hill, and I hope you are all doing well today. I am most interested in being your new student government president for the academic year 2022 to 2023. It is my utmost belief that if we work together, we can address some of the most pertinent issues that affects us in getting our degrees in a timely manner. And I look forward to entertaining your ideas, plans, and suggestions for accomplishing this vision. Thank you.
Thank you, Davia. All right, so I want to thank the candidates for taking the courage and the opportunity to run and be the voice of the students at BMCC when working with the administration and the faculty to create a place that's going to better serve our students and get you all toward your goal of achieving your college degree. So why don't we get started with the questions? The first question is an opening statement. So for all three candidates, they'll all speak and they'll go in an order. I will call on the candidates as they are, as the order indicates. So for the opening statement, we're going to say, please provide an opening statement about who you are, why you're running for student government president, what you plan to accomplish, and how you will get it done. What distinguishes you as a candidate from the others. So we'll start with Lavinia.
Great, thank you so much. Like I said before, my name is Lavinia. I am very excited to run for president for the student government. With my time here at BMCC so far, I've really understood that there is so much support for students here. It's just overflowing in every way, shape, and form. And I think that the communication between students and faculty and administration can be improved a little bit. I think that students, for the most part, just need to know that they have advocates and they have voices that is the student government, and we are here for them. And we want to know what is happening in school, outside of school, their experience as a whole with their education. And as college is something that's extremely difficult to navigate at times, and it's hard to understand what our top priorities are and what follows afterwards, it's extremely important for every single student to know exactly where to go for help, how to ask questions, who to ask questions, and how they can best and most easily get the answers that they need in order to make their time here at the school as efficient as possible. And as students also pay into the system and specifically pay for student activities, I want to make sure that the student government is using that money as efficiently as possible and also using the students' time as efficiently as possible. I think it's extremely important for us to work as a united school and for students to be sure that their voices are being heard and their needs are being met. And we as the student government are here to just make sure that everything is running smoothly and that they have the support that they need. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Lavinia. All right, next candidate, Carlene, you have 2 minutes, your opening statement.
Thank you very much. BMCC is a beacon of transformation for many people. The services at BMCC are there for all students. And I believe that we can, as a president, I can be a voice and a force to help to ensure that there is a connection between the services that are there and engaging the student in acquiring those services. Particularly, there are 3 focus I want to discuss. I want to really re-engage the students through social activities. We have been siloed in this pandemic and many students have been virtually online for almost all of the classes I have. And I think there is a need for community, there's a need for connection, there's a need to see people and be around people. And when you have that, you have engagement, you have involvement, and people take ownership of their school. So we need more social engagement, not just in the classroom, but outside of the classroom. So re-engaging students through social activities. Additionally, I want to advocate for improved onboarding experiences. As a non-traditional student, someone who is also an immigrant, who have not been in the classroom for a very long time, the transition back into school was very bothersome. And I think more can be done to address this transition, especially for students who may be DACA students, who may be immigrant students, who may be international students, and more definitely needs to address their situation. And lastly, I'm a big believer of clubs. The Finance and Banking Club has been instrumental in my own journey at BMCC, and I would like to address the need for them to have more access to resources with less bureaucracy involved so that we can have more participation of students all together in the entire BMCC community. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlene. Okay. Davia, you have 2 minutes for your opening statement.
Thank you, Dean Hutmaker, and I appreciate all that was shared, and I wholeheartedly support all that was shared before. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward through the night. That's a quote from Henry Longfellow. First and foremost, I want to use this opportunity in the moment to recognize the families in Ukraine that have been displaced as a result of the war. Our prayers are with you. With much anticipation of the ending of the COVID-19 pandemic, I trust that you and your families will continue to evade the virus. My objectives as Student Government Association President for the 2022 to 2023 academic year are to create a more comfortable and inclusive space for students with the goal of eliminating academic advisement issues through timely feedback, advocacy, and proper communication. It is my mission to create more scholarships for the most vulnerable students and petition that there be monthly mandatory progress reports from our professors. Last but not least, to increase awareness within the accessibility and the LGBTQ communities. I hope to accomplish all of these with your support by encouraging more transparency and accountability between the SGA and the student population. In an effort to help BMCC curb its high retention rates together, we can spread information through our professors. It is my intention to use this medium to get as much information across as possible to students, with the hope that more persons will become involved with the student government activities and make use of the many opportunities that it provides. We have so much in common. I can resonate with several communities within the BMCC family. I too am a full-time student, a full-time worker, an immigrant, a federal work-study worker, and an Afro-Caribbean student, a boat member, a mentee who became a mentor, all of the above. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Davia. All right, thank you for all of you for your opening statements. The first question, we will start with Carlene. You'll start first. The question is about representing the student body, okay? SGA and its members must represent the student voice through participation in the college governance and various campus committees. How do you plan to hear the concerns of your fellow students, work with faculty and staff on various councils and committees to address these concerns and report back to the students? Remember, some of the students will be all virtual, some will be on campus, some will probably be doing a little bit of both. So Carlene, you could start with that question. You're on mute.
Let's start again.
There you go.
I think it is vital to keep active engagement with students. If I were to be elected, I would definitely encourage a physical and digital drop box where students can voice their opinions, displeasure, and create a means where we can easily address and remedy the problems in a transparent way. So a physical Dropbox where they can anonymously put information and have, so the SGA can be aware of issues, and one that is also virtually. Also have dedicated online and in-person office hours so students can reach out and communicate with the president and the members of the SGA community. Also vigorous regular monthly report using video, text, and email. As a student, I found it a bit daunting sometimes that you weren't kept informed. So finding creative ways to make students more informed and aware of what is happening is essential at during this process.
Okay, thank you, Carlene. Next, we will have Davia. Davia, you can answer this question, number 2.
Thank you. So how I plan to increase student involvement on campus is to also increase the student government involvement and use student representatives as well. So our campuses and buildings have only one way of entrance. So if we set up club fairs at these entrance points, I believe that this will grab students' attention. And I also believe that success from such an event where clubs can introduce themselves to students and collect the best mode of communication from students. And this will have to be followed through with active communication to the students, so that, and also SGA is in charge of allocating funds for the various clubs. So it's imperative that there is some form of accountability through this specific committee within the student government body. Thank you.
Thank you, Davia. Lavinia, 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. I think first and foremost, students need to know that the Student Government Association exists. I think that communication and us publicizing the student government will really, really encourage students to want to be more than just getting grades in college. There is so much more to the experience, and there is every incentive in the world to add to your resume and to your co-curricular transcript that you were part of the community that you were in. You weren't just there to get grades. You were there to build a family and build a community, and you wanted to be a part of it. Being in college, like I said before, is very, very, very difficult. College has so many resources that they're always giving us. Some of them are more helpful to some than others. But the thing that is helpful to every single student is to really take advantage of the amazing opportunities that college has to offer, and to know that there are people who are here to help them all the time. And we as a student government, we are representatives of every single student here in college, regardless of what their goals are and what their goals for 2 years, 5 years, or 20 years after college is. They are here and we are here for them. And if students know that we exist and that we're here, they will want to also be a part of it. And I think that what we should do as a student government is to make sure that we are visible, that we're standing in the entrances of the school, that we're handing out things to do, that we're telling them that they can tell us all of their issues, whether it's with faculty, with administration, with other colleagues that are in their classrooms, with technology, or whatever the issue may be. And I want them to have faith that we will always, always, always do something about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Next question is a little bit further into this topic of working with students, but this is how to get students involved. So we will start with Davia. You'll start with this question. So let me read it to you. Your SGA administration will be coming into office at a unique time as students are coming back to campus after 2 years of mostly being remote. This has impacted campus life this past year, as this past year has seen a decrease in campus clubs and activities. With that in mind, a major role of the SGA is engaging the student body in campus life and creating a sense of belonging and connectedness, including evening students, weekend students, part-time, older, etc. What specific strategies, initiatives, and outreach would your SGA go about to reignite the club activities, ensure a variety and a diversity of interests of the student bodies are represented and celebrated, and to generate an overall campus life and school spirit?
I appreciate your question, Dean Hutmaker. So to replicate what was said before, basically, is to us, the SGA, we go out to students and at the very entrances of our main buildings. And the next thing is we have 3 buildings for BMCC. So sometimes as an SGA senator, I notice that we sort of limit how much we interact with students at our Fitterman building and or Murray building. So this is something that I would love to change if I am elected president, to go out to our other buildings to try to gain more interaction and to gravitate students towards getting more involved in student activities on campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Davia. Next, we will have Lavinia. 2 minutes.
Thank you. When I started here at BMCC in fall 2021, I had no idea that we had clubs. And I do read the emails that come in from the school, so it may have just gotten lost in the bunch. I found out about the Finance and Banking Club from my first business professor. And I feel like from that, I realized that the best way to get students to know about clubs and activities and things that are happening outside of their classrooms are through faculty. Faculty is the organization in the school that is the most involved with students. They see us multiple times a week. They send us emails. They meet with us in office hours. They should be our first and optimal source of information when it comes to things that are happening outside of the classroom. A lot of our professors are involved in clubs. A lot of our professors are involved in so many administrative bodies in the school, and they can really, really encourage students to do more than just their homework and show up to class and do exams. And I think that if we use faculty and if we use the student government, standing outside of our buildings and standing outside of offices where we have a lot of students come to every day, we can really encourage students to enjoy the clubs that we offer. And through that, we can also apply more funding to clubs if we have more attendance. So it's a win-win, and it's really the optimal domino effect that we want. And students just really need to feel that incentive to enjoy everything that the college has to offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Lavinia. Carlene, your turn. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you. I agree with so many of the things that Lavinia had said just now. I decided to run for president of the SGA at the last minute because I was totally unaware of the SGA and how to get involved. And I know there are many communications being sent out, but the organization, I feel, have become very insulated, and more needs to be done to put the word out about why you need to get involved in the SGA. Additionally, There should be more synergistic relationship with the faculty and the students. I think they're the first, as Lavinia said before, they're connected to students multiple times of the week, and by channeling information through the faculty members to the student, will get more engagement. Also, we need to use data. We need to collect data to find out what do students really want. Very often we think we know what students want, but we need to be able to find an engagement with to say, hey, what are the things that you are passionate about, and find a way to use that data to inform our decisions going on. We need to have more social engagement activities where people can see each other and show their authentic self, because the school classroom sometimes is not a place for your whole being to show up, whether it's concert, where there is, like last week, we had a finance and banking and accounting club meeting where you get to see other students and you can network, because that transforms not just in the school, you need that when you leave BMCC. We also need to restructure the meeting times of the club. All the clubs are being held at the same time, and therefore you cannot get involved in multiple clubs because they're done at the same time. It doesn't leave space for people who may be working or who may be on the weekends. So that needs to be a fundamental shift so that clubs can meet at various times. One of the other way I want to help is that I have club awards. So each club can have at the end of each semester, whether they increase their membership, whether they impacted the community, whether they did something outside of BMCC to assess the community. So we need to have special clubs award to the various organizations. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlene. Thank you. Okay, question number 3. We'll start with Carlene. We'll give you a second to catch your breath while I read the question, okay? All right, question number 3. Overall leadership. BMCC has established the Race, Equity, and Inclusion Steering Committee that has been actively working to dismantle systemic racism and structural inequality across the BMCC community, including students, faculty, staff, contractors, and collaborators. Please comment on how you and your SGA might take a leadership role to support the work of this committee. So, Carlene, 2 minutes.
This work is timely, it's necessary, it's way past urgent. I was in the opening ceremony there, and there are many services that are on board to help students. Diversity is important. BMCC is an institution where you have people from all over the world and with all genders and races, and we need to be inclusive and not just talk about being inclusive, but actually be inclusive. And one of the foremost way we can do that is actually by talking about the issues that are surrounding inequalities, the issues that are affecting various groups. We try to create solution without getting on board of the persons who are impacted. So first of all, be engaged in conversation and dialogues and providing areas so people can express how they're feeling, how they're being impacted. We need to make sure that the resources that are being used to support these groups that are supporting inclusivity, that the resources are available without a lot of bottlenecks, and that there's transparency with the use of these resources to encourage all students from all gender, from all walks of life, and make them feel welcome, and that they could show up and be their whole self and not be judged.
Thank you, Carlene. Appreciate that answer. Next, we will have Lavinia. 2 minutes, Lavinia.
Thank you so much. I have actually had the biggest honor in the world to host a panel during the Social Justice and Equity Week, where I spoke about academic advisement. Just like Carlene said, this school attracts such a vast community. We have so many international students. We have people coming from every borough, from every neighborhood, under so many different circumstances. And what I believe is that college is really the first opportunity for every single person to get the same basis of information, the same basis of facts, and the same assistance in order to further themselves into their academia or into their career, whatever they decide to do. academic advisement is such an important pillar when it comes to equality in a college. We have so many people working for us to make sure that we have the correct information, that we know about opportunities and scholarships and tuition assistance programs and all kinds of things that we can do both in and outside of classrooms. And I think that what is so important and what's so unique about this school is really the vast community that we have and the amount of support that we have. And I think that in order to really celebrate that is through equality. How do we give everybody the sense that they're equal? And the way to do that is to encourage students that if they want information, if they want help, if they want resources, it's there for them. And we as the student government especially are the ones who will advocate for them to access these resources. Just the same for academic advisement, for food, for shelter, for tuition assistance. This is how we can create equality. And I think that the social justice and equity group is so incredibly important in the school. And again, I had such an honor having a panel during this week and really being a part of the publicity that the group gets. And I think they should get more. Thank you.
Lavinia, thank you very much for your response. Tavia, you're up. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you. Thank you for your question, Dean Hutmaker. In my opinion, it is very unfortunate that we have such a committee because of how densely diverse this institution is. But being a victim of racial discrimination here at BMCC, it helps me to see and understand the importance of the committee. I believe that the SGA can contribute immensely to this committee by hosting collaborative events with them. We can also put the SGA itself on display, collaborating with them, because the SGA is a very diverse group. So this will also present to the students at large that we can work, we can live in a space where there is diversity, and we can accomplish things in a space where there is diversity, because this sort of inclusion is necessary to help us in the world at large. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer, Davia. Okay, question number 4. We will start with Lavinia. And the question is, supporting students. Many students often experience hardships, though more so during the past 2 years related to the pandemic. In thinking of BMCC's mission to provide a community of care, what are some ways your SGA can support these students that are facing either or both academic and non-academic challenges? Lavinia, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you for the question. The pandemic has hit all of us so incredibly hard in so many ways. I think that especially for college students, we are more likely to have jobs that are with people and that are in person, which means that we are the ones that are getting hit the hardest when it comes to layoffs and when it comes for the opportunity for us to continue working, which means that a lot of us also suffered from a lack of income. While we're in college, we should need to only worry about showing up to class and getting good grades and getting into the programs that we want to be into. But unfortunately, all of these other issues like a lack of income and a lack of opportunities outside of the classroom can really affect what's going on in school. The Student Government Association, in my opinion, should be the student body that is most aware of the resources that the school has. I think that from the students that I have spoken to, there seems to be a lack in knowing who to turn to for what. And we as a student government, we can bridge that gap. And it's a really important gap for the school to not have. When a student comes to me and says, I'm failing my class, I say, what's the problem? Do you not have time to do the work? Is your professor not communicating? What is the main issue? And if they say that it has to do with the faculty that's teaching, then I say, have you talked to the chairperson? Have you talked to somebody who can help navigate the issues that you're having inside of the classroom? And usually the answer is no. the school itself and the challenges that the school holds should not be held back by challenges outside of the school. And as soon as there are issues in the school and we can help resolve those issues in school, I'm really hoping that it'll cause also the issues outside of the classroom to be resolved more easily as well. And I think that the student government should hold a major responsibility in helping students know where the help that they need is. Thank you.
Thank you, Lavinia. Lavinia, your turn. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, Dean Hutmaker. I'm grateful for this question because I believe that the best way that the SGA can support students facing both academic and non-academic challenges is by being knowledgeable, by us being knowledgeable and fully equipped with information as it pertains to the various resources that BMCC offers to its students. I'm a mentor within the Impact Peer Mentorship program, and the prime focus for my mentees this semester is success through resources. The Learning Resource Center, the Counseling Center, the Advocacy for Resource Center, the Writing Center, the Women's Resource Center, and the list goes on. If all SGA members are trained well in this category, I believe that they will be able to answer some questions from students, and they'd be able to advise them accordingly to direct them to the right resource that they need to fulfill whatever gap they have. Thank you.
Thank you, Davia. Carlene, 2 minutes, please.
Thank you. This is a very important question because the pandemic has disproportionately affected most of the students, all of the students at BMCC who are from low-income families and who are struggling with many areas that are proven difficult to navigate. But I believe it starts from the beginning. We have to ensure that the onboarding process for students at BMCC makes it easier for them to ask questions, who to ask questions, where to go for help, how to navigate the process of being in college. We have students who are very young, just from high school, who are unaware or unsure of the processes of how to be a college student. We have students who have not been in school for a very long time and they need help in navigating that process. We have the resources at BMCC. We have tremendous amount of resources. We just need to make the connection with getting these resources to our students, and there are many of them. I myself have benefited from the Mental Health Resource Center. I myself have benefited from many other organizations, the Women's Department. So the resources are there. We just need to create a more effective way to connect the students, and that is by engaging more directly through to our students. Maybe it's WhatsApp, maybe it's creating more engaging video content, maybe it's being more visible and present at all the campuses and letting students know that there is help, because there is help, and there are students and faculty members who are there and wanting to help you or waiting to help you, but sometimes knowing where to ask for help and how to ask for help and to access that help is a problem. So we need to find more creative ways to distill the information and the resources to where it needs to go and to serve the students in the best way possible.
All right, thank you, Carlene. All right, well, I want to thank all the candidates for the responses to those questions that were approved by the Student Election Review Committee. Hopefully you all got a good insight to how the three candidates will be taking their role seriously if they are the ones selected to serve as your SGA president for next year. So before we close out, I'm going to give each of the candidates an opportunity to give a closing statement. They'll have 2 minutes to just touch on any ideas that we didn't ask during the questions, and just identify why you think you're going to be the candidate that will be best able to serve the students of BMCC in the upcoming year. So we will start with Davia. You have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Thank you, Dean Hutmaker. Yeah. So in closing, I am no stranger to the SGA. Currently, I'm a senator who has worked assiduously as part of a committee that implemented the SGA scholarship, which will award 10 students $1,000 each to help with their tuition costs. All right. Sorry, no, I'm not done. Yes. I've learned many lessons through my journey as senator. The most important lesson is to be a good leader, and you must be the most important lesson is that to be a good leader, you must be a good follower. I have followed, I have contributed, I have fought, I have learned. The next president of the SGA needs to lead by example and serve without bias. I promise that if given this opportunity, I will apply all the skills that I've learned to the best of my ability. Again, I am Davia Smith-Hill, and I am depending on your vote when the polls open this Saturday, March 9th at 9 a.m. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you, Davia. Next, we will have Carlene. Your closing statement, please.
And thank you. And ladies, I am so proud of you. I think you are all phenomenal women, and I look forward to working with you regardless of how this turned out. So thank you. I think the SGA need a fresh approach, and I think I can bring that to the SGA. I have personal experience in advocating for myself as an immigrant woman navigating a new environment and advocating for a child who has special needs. And I think that has given me some lived experiences that makes me make me able to be a good advocate. I think also years of working and collaborating successfully in various environment has enabled me to be able to work with people in a way that can get the outcomes that I think are beneficial for all. Additionally, I think that my organizational skill as an entrepreneur and being task-oriented will inform how I am able to manage and coalesce the group to accomplish the goals of putting students first at the BMCC. And I love BMCC. I really think it's an amazing institution with amazing resources and some of the best professors and faculty members, and that needs to be championed. And I think I am passionate about really spreading that word that BMCC is a school where you can start here and literally go anywhere. 2 years ago, I would never dream that I'm running for student government president or being part of the finance and banking club and representing BMCC in the CUNY clash competition. But coming to BMCC and availing myself to the resources that are there have really changed my life. And I think that will inform my leadership as president. And I love people, and I think that forming community and working with people is the next step to making change. And one of my famous quotation is, do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bit of good put together that overwhelm the world. And in this spirit, I look forward of being of service in whatever way I can. Thank you very much. And please vote for me.
Thank you, Carlene. Lavinia, your closing statement, please.
Thank you so much. So I just want to say, after serving in the Israeli military as a drill sergeant, after being an operations manager for 3 years before I joined BMCC, and after being a senator this semester in the student government at BMCC, I just want to say that I think the most important thing in the world is for us to work together as a team. If we work together as a team, we can achieve anything. And if I'm elected president for the student government, I will first and foremost make sure to boost morale and to give everyone the right encouragement that they need to do whatever they set their mind to. When you're in college and you have chosen college to be your first priority, nothing should get in the way of that. And I will do my best for every waking moment, for every minute I spend in school or outside of school. I will encourage students to go look for help, to go seek what they need. And whoever that person is and whatever that thing may be, I will help them find it. And I will make sure that the Student Government Association as a whole will also help the entire student body help find what they need. And if you've chosen to come to BMCC and to invest in your future, you should really take advantage of the amazing institution we have here and to take advantage of your student representatives who are us, and we will advocate for you. And whether or not I become president for the year 2022 to 2023, I will continue to help students in every way that I can, because there are so many ways in the school. And I really appreciate your support here today. I appreciate everyone being here and listening to my statements. And it is such an honor to run and to be a part of the leadership that the school has. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lavinia. And I want to thank all the candidates, Carlene Nelson, Davia Smith-Hill, and Lavinia Antonio. Your poise, your professionalism, and your energy has really come through. And I know student government will be in great hands with whoever is elected, but others that will be participating in other ways too on campus. So thank you for your leadership, and thank you for your energy to give back to BMCC. I just want to let the student body know that there's information about the candidates. You can read about their position statements on the student government election webpage, which is right now on the BMCC webpage under the student hub. So you can please go there and read more about the candidates. And also the elections begin Saturday, April 9th at 9 a.m. electronically. You will all be sent an email reminder with a link, you signing in to vote. And polls will close Wednesday, April 13th at 5 p.m. So please support your student candidates by going out and vote and making a difference here at BMCC. So thank you, everyone. And again, thank you, candidates. And see you at the polls.
Thank you, everyone. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
I wish you all the
for having
best.
me here. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.